It's that time of the week where the hottest Kenyan millennials jazz up your afternoon with their refreshing live talk show. You are now tuned in to the 254 Millennial Talk.
It's not even my birthday.
Yo, I think we're live. Yeah. Okay. Give me a few seconds to confirm that I'm live. Just wait. Okay, audio is good. Audio is good. It's nurmlock here, guys, and welcome back to yet another episode of the 254 Millennial Talk. Hope your week has been wonderful. Hope you're having a good time. Hope that this coronavirus situation that is currently going on in the world right now isn't fucking you up. Because, this thing came out of nowhere. It's been fucking people up. Yeah, which dude is not receiving enough video. What the fuck, man? Why the fuck does it keep saying that? It's not like I have 1,000 tabs open, but yeah. Anyway, hope mmekuwa fiti. Hope you've had a good week. Well, I've had a good week myself. I can't complain. It's just normal, nothing out. And I am back. Sorry for that. I don't know what is causing the lag, but Jesus. I was my internet is seems like it wants to fail me today. God damn, please stop buffering. Really sorry for that inconvenience, guys. It's not that I want to. Just give me okay, I think that might be causing the stream to lag. I've closed it just to try and see whether the stream is going to be better. I've reduced the bitrate, so the quality might suffer. I don't know what's up with my internet today, but yeah, it's it doesn't want to play nice. So yeah. So I can see someone is on the chat. Frankenstein. Oopsie. I hope you know today's stream is more of a tutorial, so only questions are allowed. Questions and suggestions. Right?
Yeah.
So, okay. So possibly the best way to watch the stream is just on YouTube, and then reserve the questions for like asking me on Discord. So yeah, my stream was having issues some few minutes ago. I don't know what's up with my internet. My internet is acting up today. It's really acting up.
Sorry for that.
Yeah, man, sucks. But anyway, man, sound. Since we already talked about getting good sound for your videos. So, let me start by saying that there's this filmmaker. Most of you have heard of him or heard of his stuff. George Lucas, the creator of Star Wars. And there's a quote he said that sound is 50% of the movie-going experience. Okay? And let me read the quote in full. And I have always believed that audiences are moved and excited by what they hear in my movies, at least as much as by what they see. Okay, so sound is really an important element of video, and it's sad that a lot of people look at sound as the very last option when it comes to filming videos, which is a common thing that I've seen. It's not that it's also like a thing that I used to not consider much back in the days, but yeah, I decided to take sound seriously. I learned some few stuff along the way. So let me just say, if you want your videos to be good as a YouTuber or as a content creator, because this video doesn't necessarily only applies to YouTubers, but it also applies to people who are trying to make content that is of the highest quality possible. So it helps to know a lot of technical stuff about sound. Okay, so first of all, let's start by explaining as to how you get good sound. Now obviously you know that sound is recorded by sound recorders, right? So the first thing that I would highly recommend for YouTubers, if you know that you do not have a microphone, please avoid recording outside. If you need to record outside, then possibly invest in something that can record sound. This can be your smartphone, this can be a professional microphone. Okay, so one tip that I say for shooting outside is, first of all, you need to know the types of microphones that you're using. Okay, because a lot of people, I don't think they understand this stuff, and I just think that a lot of people buy this stuff for the sake of buying this stuff. So it's really, really important. And my dog keeps on barking. Give me a few seconds. It's Nurmlock, guys, and welcome back to yet another video. Now obviously, as you can see, I am outside. This is because I am currently trying to test out the onboard microphone, which I used to use a lot back in the... Oh, and I noticed that my microphone was off. Sorry, I need to explain that again. So I'm just playing two clips, one of them has a microphone on and the other one doesn't. It's just using the onboard microphone that is found on the camera. So let me play that again. It's Nurmlock, guys, and welcome back to yet another video. Now obviously, as you can see, I am outside. This is because I am currently trying to test out the onboard microphone, which I used to use a lot back in the days before I bought a microphone. So you can hear it's decent, it's good, it's not that bad, but I'm sure we can make the audio sound a little bit better using the microphone. And now the following clip is audio number 2. This is when I have the microphone that I'm currently using right now on the camera. So let's take a look. It's Nurmlock, guys, and welcome back to yet another video. Now obviously this is the second test. This is with the microphone on. This is with the microphone on. Now currently I am holding my camera at arm's length. I think this is about roughly 4 feet away from me, so it should sound pretty good. And I don't even know how these people shoot vlogs, because I am already tired holding this camera like this. But tell me how the audio sounds like. You're getting all kinds of sounds. So yeah, man, I'm pretty sure you've had a very, very significant difference of using the onboard microphone the onboard microphone on the camera and the professional, not necessarily professional, because this is not a professional mic. I keep clicking on the wrong screens. Not necessarily a professional mic, but just a microphone of any sort. Okay, it doesn't matter whether it's a lavalier are the ones that you clip on your shirt or something. It doesn't matter, as long as it's a microphone. It's supposed to sound way better than just using the onboard microphone. So the first thing that I say, or the first thing that I will encourage you to do if you want to get good sound for your videos, avoid shooting outdoors. If you know that you do not have a microphone, avoid shooting outdoors. Okay, just shoot indoors. Okay, because that way you're getting rid of all the noises that you can't control. Maybe motorcycles passing by, I don't know, aeroplanes in the air. just stuff wind, because I'm pretty sure you heard that audio has a lot of wind, especially the first one that I'm using, the onboard mic, has a crap ton of wind sounds. So if you know you do not have a microphone, please just shoot indoors, okay? And another tip that I will say, if you're shooting outdoors and you don't necessarily have a microphone and it's necessary for you to shoot outdoors, then I would recommend, if you do not have the money to buy a recorder or a microphone, I would recommend using your smartphone, okay? And you'll be surprised as to how effective your sound, the sound from your smartphone can be. Just like finding a proper way to hide it, which for me, I'm a dude, so I can just wear a shirt during that day and place the phone facing upside down, because my microphone is currently at the bottom, of which all microphones on the phones are usually at the bottom. Or just using, like Brian Kimani said last time, just using your the earpiece on your earphone, which I don't know about that. I don't know about that microphone on the earpiece, because the last time I used it, my voice was sounding weird. So I don't know. Maybe I think it depends with I think if you have higher quality earphones, then it's going to sound better, because the one on this headphone is actual trash. This one, the earpiece in this headphone, is actual trash, and I don't even recommend using it in the first place. So that is if you do not have a microphone, okay? If you're shooting outdoors, if it's necessary for you to shoot outdoors and you do not have a microphone, then use your smartphone. Just plug in a phone, plug in some earphones, or just place your phone upside down, because your speaker is currently there. I can even see on my second phone that it's down there, it's a cutout, and just place it maybe on your pocket, or just hold it if you have someone close to you, just let them hold the phone right close to your mouth. Because one thing you need to note, regardless of which microphone you buy, all microphones sound good when they are really close to the sound object. So in this case, this mic sounds very good because it's almost 1 foot. I don't know if it's actually inches away from my mouth. And if I take this microphone away, you can hear that all of a sudden I don't sound as good as, which it's decent, it's still usable, yes, because this is a shotgun mic, so it's going to pick, and I'm going to talk about those types of microphones, but because it's a little bit farther away, it doesn't give me that radio voice that I'm looking for when I'm doing these live streams, or when I'm doing this podcast and stuff, okay? So yeah, if you're shooting outside, just use your phone or use a lavalier. So another thing that you need to know about shooting indoors, reverb. Okay, reverberations. Now, what are reverberations? It's the bounciness, the echoiness that you feel when you enter an empty room. That is what you call reverb. And in most cases, most open spaces, especially big houses, because I've noticed when I'm shooting in a very large house, there's a tendency for there to be a lot of reverb. Okay. And this is where I said having some technical knowledge on what you're using to film is really important, because not all mics suffer from a lot of reverb, and some mics are more prone to reverb than others, which again I emphasize I'm going to talk about that later on in the video. Okay, so how do you get rid of reverb? Normally on film sets, what you use to get rid of reverb is sound blankets. It's just basically things that looks like towels that soak up the sound, and that's why when a room is empty, you can always feel a lot of echo, but all of a sudden when you fill in a lot of stuff, the echo is dampened because there's a lot of clothing. Like for me, a good example is my room right now. There's a lot of clothing hanging everywhere. There's this reflector here. The only thing that can be causing reverb is my table, because it's the only hard surface around, of which it's kind of covered. I have keycaps, just basically uneven surfaces that don't bounce or don't reflect sound back. Okay, so if you know you're shooting at a table or somewhere near walls, avoid shooting in such an area. If you have to shoot in such an area, then find a way to soak or to dampen that sound, because especially onboard mics on the cameras are very bad. They are notorious for picking up a lot of reverb, which I also think that your smartphone doesn't perform as good when it comes to isolating noises or just reverberations. Okay, so that is something that you need to note about shooting indoors. That's why when you're shooting indoors, most of the time, if you're shooting in a room filled with stuff, it's going to sound good. But if you're shooting in a room that is empty, you're just going to feel that echoiness. So that echoiness that you hear in audio, that's called a reverb. Okay, and again, the same tip of using smartphone applies here. If you know that you're very far away, maybe the camera is quite at a distance and you know you're very far away, just use your smartphone. Place it somewhere near your mouth. Maybe use a book to make it come closer to your mouth. Just hide it somewhere close. I mean, when you're shooting indoors, you have a lot of areas that you can use to hide your smartphone, because like I said, any microphone, regardless of whether it's $1,000 microphone or it's a $30 microphone, will sound good if it's very close to the sound source. Okay, so I had noted down some points. That's what I'm looking. So let's talk about microphones now, because I kept on saying that I'm going to talk about microphones. So the thing about buying microphones is you need to know the cardioid pickup pattern. Not cardioid. Cardioid is actually a pickup pattern. You need to know the pickup pattern of the microphone. What do I necessarily mean when I'm saying the pickup pattern of microphone? So let me search on Google right now so that we can see my desktop. Right, as you can see, these are some of these mics. I don't even know what they do, but the most common ones that you will find are condenser mic, shotgun mics, and I think those are the two common ones. I don't know what these are. I don't know, dynamic mics. I don't know what I think these are the ones for singers. I don't know, but it helps to just know some bit of knowledge about the microphone you're buying. Now, the basic difference between all of these microphones is the pickup pattern. The pickup pattern meaning that what is the area as to which the microphone is picking up. I'm trying to look for an image that shows pickup patterns. Pickup. Yep, it's actually called polar patterns. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about. In fact, this is a very good image demonstrating what a microphone does. So as you can see, let me just explain what this image is actually showing you right now. So wait for it to load. I'm experiencing lag. Jesus, why am I lagging today? My video is actually quite laggy. That's what I'm noticing. So what this pickup pattern does basically means is what area or what circumference, or radius, what radius is the microphone actually picking. So as you can see, this microphone is only picking sound from a little bit from the back, a little bit from the side, and now when you go to the front, it picks up a lot of sounds from the front, of which this is a common type of pickup pattern that you'll find in a lot of microphone. But the one that I'm currently using is a shotgun mic. Now the reason as why I use a shotgun mic is because shotgun mics have a very tight pickup pattern. Most shotgun mics look like this, meaning that they pick up sounds from the front very clearly as compared to the back. So right now I've turned the microphone away, and as you can hear, I sound very terrible right now. That is why I recommend, if you're filming outside, find yourself a shotgun mic. Those are the best mics for shooting outside. They're the mics that are mostly used on film sets, as you can even see here. They are the most common mics that you're going to find outside, because they're very good at let me turn this back. They're very good at isolating background noise, and I find that they're the best when shooting outside. If you're shooting indoors with this thing, because of its pickup pattern, it's very prone to picking up a lot of reverb. I've noticed that when I'm shooting indoors, that this mic is quite strong. And also, I'm sure you've noticed on my stream that sometimes you hear noise. Okay, so it doesn't mean that because it can isolate the sound from the front, it doesn't mean that it's not going to pick up the background, but it does pick up somewhat of the background. The only thing it does, it's like it has an inbuilt editor where it makes the background feel like sort of an ambience, like the background is just the background, it's not really overpowering whoever is talking or whoever is being picked at the front. So it has the disadvantage of picking up a lot of noise. So for me, I just use it because I don't have any other microphone or a condenser mic, which I'm going to talk about next. For me, I use it because it's the only professional microphone I have, and I would prefer using this over using the webcam microphone, which I don't like the way it sounds. It sounds completely terrible. It's good for video games and nothing else, just video games. Okay. And I'm sure you've also noticed that sometimes you can hear double audio. That's because shotgun mics are very good at picking up human voices. So the most common shotgun mic that you are going to see is the Rode video stuff. Rode video micro, Rode video mics. Just look for images. These are the most common ones you've seen, okay? Because they are, and mostly you find them being used outside, okay? As you can see, they're very, very. I wouldn't say they're cheap. They're not on the cheap side if you're a Kenyan, but they're not super expensive to a point that you can't even afford them. But these are the most common shotgun mics you will find, especially like the Rode Video Micro, the Mic Pro, not Video Micro, Mic Pro. I find that these ones are they have a very flattering voice. Okay. Now the thing about these microphones is most of them are powered by battery, except for like a few of them, like the Video Micro. There's the micro one, the smallest one. I think it's this one. Let's look for let's just search Rode Video Micro. Yep, found it. So this one is the one doesn't need power. The one that I'm using right now has a battery. That's why sometimes I forget. In fact, that was the point that I was going to make. That if you buy one of these shotgun mics and you're using a battery powered one, I would recommend buying this one. Where is it? I had seen it here. I'd recommend buying the Mic Pro, because this one has an automatic sensor where when you plug it in the camera, it automatically turns on. So for me, you don't know the amount of times I've actually forgotten to turn on this. In fact, even like in my short film, it's time. Let's just go. There was a section that I had to go and actually record sounds from the atmosphere and sounds from a bicycle, because I had forgotten to turn on the mic. So let's just look for Bloody Actor. That's where I have a couple of short skits and short films. Let's go this one here. And I don't want to explain so much what's happening, but you see, starting from this, I'm most probably I'm spoiling the movie. But starting from this section here, I had now it might be silent because it had a copyright claim, so I turned it off. But I had forgotten to turn on the mic at that point, and I remember that when I came to edit, I found that the video was silent, and I was frustrated because I did not know what I was supposed to do, but I just figured it out, and I just went out there and actually recorded some sounds and replaced it with that sounds. Okay. So be careful when buying shotgun mics. They can fuck you up, man. So you may forget to hit the on button and utajipata umeongea for a long time. So this is why I actually sometimes don't like. This is why mostly I recommend recording on sound recorders. I'm going to get to that point, because at least that way your onboard mic on the camera can be recording, so you can kind of use it, because I'm going to show you a way you can fix bad audio. But you can kind of use it. You can kind of use it to maybe try and salvage, or maybe use it to create ADR. If you don't know, ADR is the audio you record later after you've recorded. Yeah, that's also another tip that I was actually going to record ADR. Okay, so if your audio is fucked up, you can. ADR is where you look at the video and then try to match what you were saying, but now you're recording it again. Okay. But I wouldn't recommend it because sometimes it doesn't come off as natural. So shotgun mics, those I've talked about them. The other types of microphones that maybe you can want to invest in is lavalier microphones. So let's look at them. So these are lavalier. Most of these are omnidirectional, meaning that they pick sound around it. Okay, that let's just even look. I'm sure we can find some good images to explain. Polar pattern. Yes, so lavalier, what lavaliers do, they are omnidirectional. I mean, they pick sound around. In fact, there's even a good chart here. They pick sound around them. Okay, so they won't sound as good when they are very far away, but they will sound as good when they're close. So, but the thing about lavaliers that I don't like is that, especially the low quality ones, make your voice sound boxy. It's like you're talking like this. I don't know. I don't like the way some of them sound, but I mean that is what you're supposed to expect when you buy cheap stuff. Of which I'm not saying that you shouldn't buy cheap stuff. I'm just saying there's a reason as to why some lavalier mics are quite expensive than others. The most common one is this one I've seen on Jumia, Boya. I don't know how good it sounds, but I mean let's first of all even go to Jumia's website and see what it costs. So Boya costs 2,000. It's not expensive actually. I think you can buy this one. But the good thing about this one is I've seen it. I've actually held it in my arms. It has a freaking long ass cable. That cable, as you can see, it's actually long, very very long, and they are quite common. And the fact that it has a couple of switches means that it might be very good, because I mean the one that is just a cable going straight to the camera, I'm kind of worried about such types of microphones. But I mean you can buy it because it's good, but I don't know, if you want to plug this on your smartphone, you actually need to find an adapter, because I don't think it's going to work directly on your smartphone. There's an adapter that you actually need to buy that converts the microphone to audio that your smartphone can use. But as you can see, Jumia has a couple of options, but I would recommend starting out with something simple as this. Just save yourself like 2,000 Kenya shillings, order one of these, and you should be good. I've also used one, but those ones were professional ones. In fact, that one had an XLR cable. XLR cables are the ones that are mostly high quality. This jack has been there for a long time. XLR is this one, the one you find on the church amplifiers. If you've been to church, you've seen that type of cable before. So it's actually this one with pins. So XLR is the most recommended cable pin type, not quality, pin type that is used for audio. Okay, so the other types of microphones that maybe I can want to talk about is the condenser mics, condenser microphones. Now these ones are the ones that you actually find on radio stations and recording booths. The reason as to why these ones are used is because they are relatively quiet microphones. They have an omnidirectional pickup pattern, meaning that they pick everything that is around it, but they are very quiet. Quiet meaning that if you've ever seen in a radio where there is actually two people in the studio, and you wonder how both of them sound so good without, and all of them have their individual microphones, is because these microphones are very silent. You have to be very very close to them. That's why you normally see them being held to the face, okay, because they're very quiet and they actually need you to be very close to the face to actually hear whoever is speaking. So the only disadvantage that I will say to this is that you actually need a way to power them. So there's something we call phantom power in sound. Phantom power, meaning that there is power being delivered via the cable. Okay, so you actually need a way. If you were buying a professional XLR mic, I think the cheap ones can be powered off a USB cable, but if you're buying a professional XLR mic, you actually need a way to power the microphone, because they soak up, they need a lot of boosting, a lot of gain. Okay, that is also some terminology I'm going to talk about when I get to the editing section. But you actually need a lot of gain to actually amplify these microphones. So that is why you get that radio voice. These condenser mics are known for that radio voice, okay? And any microphone will sound like that. If your microphone is good, I don't know if your smartphone will sound like that, but an example, if this shotgun mic, if I was to put it very close to my mouth, you can hear that I'm suddenly sounding like I'm on the radio. It might even be quite annoying, but as you can hear, microphones sound very good when they're really close to the to your mouth. These ones I would recommend for people who are doing podcasts like me, people who are generally shooting in the house without generally podcast stuff. This is the best mic for you. If you're doing podcast stuff, you actually need something like a condenser mic. You can start with cheap ones. I'm sure if I was to search for condenser mic, I'm sure if I was to search for them on Jumia, you can see I don't know why USB powered microphones are not the best, but hey, it's still a start. I'd prefer you use this over using the microphone on your headset, okay? Also, your microphone on a headset is another good example. You can use that one, but I wouldn't recommend that. It doesn't have a very good quality unless you have expensive headphones, of which it defeats the purpose anyway. There's no need of buying expensive headphones. If you have money to buy expensive headphones, then just invest in a professional mic. Now, the thing about microphones you need to understand is you need to find a way how to mount them, okay? Most of these microphones need you to mount them, and the most common mic mount you've seen is this, called a shock mount. This one is the one that is used for those microphones on studios, and or a boom arm. This is what you call a boom arm, okay? So you clamp it on your desk, and then you in fact, maybe later on I will invest in one of these, because I currently, the way I've mounted mine is just mounted it on a desk on something is just holding it in place, because I took out the stand. The stand is now being used for the second light, okay? But these microphones are good, especially if you're planning to like start a gaming channel or an ASMR. Oh, ASMR? No. I wouldn't recommend this microphone for ASMR. It's too quiet. If you're ASMR, I think I would recommend a shotgun mic, but you have to be in a very quiet room. But yes, if you're planning to do something like a gaming, a podcast with guys, this is the right microphone for you. This is the microphone that you need to be buying. Even these ones that are used in churches, these mics are mostly condenser mics. You see, you have to be very close to them so that you can actually even this is a good mic. So if you find like a church selling one of these for a cheap price, yo, go buy it, man. You can actually you just need to find a way how to connect it to your desktop, of which I've said you need to invest in something that can actually provide phantom power. So this one, okay, so one of these things, DACs, they're called DACs, digital to analog sound converters, and they are quite expensive. Sound is one of those things that are very expensive. If you if you don't take the time to budget for it, it might fuck you up very bad, okay? So yes, these ones are the ones that you use for podcasting and all that, okay? So is there any type of microphone that I would recommend? So the ones that I find that are used on film sets, if you have the money, because I'm going to point outright that these microphones are very, 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 very expensive. They're super cardioid mics. Super cardioid. These ones are the ones used in film sets. Now, they are mostly, I can categorize them as condenser mics, but I don't know how to categorize them, but they are mostly the ones used on film sets. The reason why these ones are used is because, as you can even see, there's a video saying the best mic for dialogue. The reason why is that they have a very sharp pickup pattern, such that when you're inside, they tend to reject a lot of the reverberations that I had talked about earlier on the stream. Reverberations meaning the echoiness that you get in a room. They're the ones that are used on film sets. So in case you've ever wondered why you're watching a movie and you're wondering, what, man, this audio sounds so good. I mean, a dialogue in movies always sounds good, man. The reason why it sounds so good is because of such a microphone. And I realized, these things you actually have to go out there and shoot and use them so that you can realize the downfall, the flaws of your equipment. Because I say equipments are only good as the user. It's to say, I think it's weapons. Weapons are only good as the user. Weapons in this case being microphones. So I found that this microphone of mine is very bad at picking reverb, especially if the room doesn't have a lot of stuff in the room, or doesn't have a lot of stuff in there. If the room doesn't have a lot of stuff, I find that this mic tends to pick up a lot of echoiness. So I don't know. Like I said, all microphones sound good if they are like 6 feet, below 6 feet away. So that's why you usually see someone holding. It's called a boom pole. Someone holding the microphone for the actors to talk in, and that's why like the guy will run with you guys, because it doesn't mean because they have a professional microphone that costs $1,000, because these microphones actually do cost $1,000. Let me just open an Amazon page and go to my wish list. It doesn't mean because this microphone are $1,000 that they are going to actually save your audio. It helps to record that audio properly in the first place. Okay, so let's go to wish list. I'm looking for my wish list. Where is it? Manage your lists. So as you can see, these are professional microphones used on actual sets. Do you see how much they cost? 1,500. And I'm sure you're like, what? 100K for a mic? Yeah, man, they are actually durable. The thing about sound is once you buy this stuff, you can use them for years, because something like this XLR port I'm talking about, where is it? Let's just look for XLR input. These cables have been around for as long as I can remember. Sound really doesn't change as much. Sound is one of those things that have stayed constant. So even if you're spending $1,000 on a microphone, I'm telling you, you're going to use that microphone for a long time. You can even use it for like 20 years. That is if another new technology doesn't come up. But they are very, very good microphones to use on film sets. Okay, as you can see, they even come with a bundle and a way to mount them. Okay, so the professional stuff is always expensive, but I'm not saying that you shouldn't buy the cheap stuff. Just buy. It's always good, like I said, to have a microphone or of the sorts. Okay, so I think I've talked enough about microphones. So the other thing to note is, now I think I'm going to talk about sound recorders now that I've talked about a lot of microphones. So if you have a microphone, okay, the thing that I'm going to say is I discourage you from recording into the camera. You do that if you don't have the money to buy a recorder. But if you have the money to buy a recorder, actually invest in a recorder. That's because the preamps meaning like how much noise is your microphone picking while there is no actual sound, of which there's always a sound, but when I'm silent, how much humming is there? Like there's a certain, it's like we call it kamchele. Yo, shh, that's the preamp. If you hear that when you're recording or when you're silent and you actually hear that noise, that means that the preamp of whatever recorder you're using is very bad. And Canon cameras like the one I'm using are known to have a lot of noise. A good example is let me find actual footage. Let me just go on my folders here and find actual footage that I can use to demonstrate that stuff. So knowing about preamps, because preamps are very, I actually did not used to know what preamps are until someone else explained it for me, that it's just that general noise that you hear. So let's this footage is not loading up. Some footage I'm looking at here. Yep, I found it. There's some footage I'm looking at here. I'm sure you will hear the noise. You will hear what I'm talking about.
Dude, action!
Let me try and increase the volume so that I turned off the mic so that you can hear. That you can hear. Do you hear that? Shh. That means that the preamps on this camera are very, very bad. This is why you actually need a sound recorder. And trust me, it's so frustrating to get rid of that humming. I don't know if it's hissing. Yeah, it's hissing. It's so annoying to get rid of that hissing. Okay, so it actually helps to just invest in a proper recorder. Okay, so if you have the money, I would recommend buying these recorders. There's this one a lot of people start with, Zoom H1N1, I think, or is it the H1N? Let me see. Yeah, this is the microphone, or not the microphone necessarily, but this is the recorder I would recommend buying if you have the cash. It's not that expensive, but it's let me not say it's not that expensive, but I mean it's something affordable if you save up. So 14,000. I think this one comes with a shock mount. The good thing about these recorders is you can actually, instead of actually buying a condenser mic, you can use these recorders as a microphone, because if you plug them in with a USB on your computer, you can actually set the computer to recognize this as an actual microphone, so you can actually get very good microphone for your podcast. I think a good guy I've seen using these recorders to his advantages. Let's go to YouTube, not Jumia. There's this guy called Kisscapades podcast. I've seen a couple of Kisscapades. I hope I'm saying the right name. Let's see. Was it Kiss? Actually don't remember if it's Kisscapades podcast. Please. Oh my god, why can't I fucking find him? But I've seen him actually use what was his name? Jesus, I think his name is no longer on my screen, but it was something Kiska. Let me just search Kiska podcast and see whether it's going to try and suggest his videos. Oh my god, I can't. I think I remember the title of one of his videos. Does Wabosha Maxine have a boyfriend? Let's see whether that will bring his podcast. People actually search for that. Kisscapades podcast. Thanks Collins, maze. Maze. Yo, lifesaver man. Thanks. Oh my god. Mimi hiyo jina ilikuwa imenitoka kabisa. Wacha tuitafute. But he's a good example as to what Microsoft Edge ilikuwa imehang. He's a good example of how you should actually, of why you should buy. Yes. Wait, Collins, thanks man. Thanks a lot. But he actually uses a recorder. And this is actually very smart of him. And he's actually using the microphones that he's using. That's why his podcast, I've listened to them, a couple of them. And they sound so...
Welcome to another amazing episode of the...
They sound so fucking good. And do you see he's actually using a recorder with... this is a Zoom. It's also in the Zoom series. Oh my god, app in a hand. This is why I don't like Chromium-based websites. Chromium-based browsers.
Kisscapades podcast, and I have a very special guest with me today.
So as you can actually see, these are actual condenser mics running into a Zoom. This is a Zoom what? I don't know what Zoom microphone this is, but let me just look for it. Zoom handy recorder. Let's look for that. Yeah, this is the type of recorder he's using, Zoom H4N. Okay, they have 2 XLR ports on the bottom, meaning that you can actually plug 2 microphones. And the reason as to why I think he's using this is Neo story could have 2 options, 2 ways to plug in mics at the bottom. Okay, and remember, if this thing can actually, all of these recorders from Zoom, if you plug them into your computer with a USB, they usually act as microphones. So imagine if maybe you don't have money to buy a mixer, because a mixer is what you normally plug in a lot of mics into. Maybe you're in a room of guys, or you're in a room of like 2 people, when you're talking, or maybe you have a boom arm where it can be swung to the next. Maybe let's say you are 3 guys, right? And you have a boom arm, 1 for you and 2 and 1 for the guests. Okay, so the guest can actually be switching up the microphone, pushing it to whoever is speaking. And I mean, because you don't have a mixer, everything is just going to be recorded on the sound recorder. And these recorders actually have good preamps, meaning that they don't pick up, or they don't have a lot of hiss, that hissing sound that I had played earlier. They don't have a lot of that hissing that you will get from the recorder, the inbuilt recorder on the camera. Okay, so I hope maybe that point may come clean. But if you don't have money to actually buy a good sound recorder, anzia na hii, the Zoom H1N. Okay, because this one I can actually plug in. Now normally the cables that come with these mics ni fupi, so you actually need to find a female to male audio cable, 3.5 millimeter audio jack. Okay, so just buying this, and it actually has a 1/4 inch thread. 1/4 inch meaning that it's a standard point ya kuscrew, kuweka screw, like screw yake inaitwa nini, 1/4 inch thread. Okay, it's a standard way to mount these recorders onto poles, because basically what I've done with my mic is nimemodify such that hapa chini iko na point unaweza mount kwa hizi light stands. Okay, because the light stand actually has a 1/4 inch thread at the bottom. Okay, and naona stream yangu kiasi I don't know what's up. I think nilikuwa nafungua hiyo Chromium and then nikafungua nini but I hope it should be fine now. But yes, sound recorders. So invest in one of these sound recorders. Kayo Zoom H4N. Yeah, if you're actually doing YouTube, you don't even need to go past that. But if you really are looking for something that you want to make films with, and you have the budget, because that is what I'll keep on emphasizing. If you have the actual budget, I would recommend buying. There's this recorder called Mix Pre. So this is what I've seen being used on Hollywood sets. Indo inaeka kwa bag. So shaona hazo wa sound uko na kabai hata ndo hii. Hazo uko na kabag and then mics zinaingia hapo. So indo you actually use to make on film sets. It's the recorder itself inaitwa Mix Pre. Ngoja kiasi. This one found it. Kiasi. So last stream inaweza kuwa refu kiasi. Tumsijali. But this recorder ndo nimeona being used a lot in film sets. Okay, it has a lot of ports, as you can see. It has a lot of gains, and these are very intuitive gains. Me actually, I've never actually used it in real life, but I would want something like this. And as you can see, indo your 1/4 inch I was talking about. Did you see that screw up? The screw, the hole that you find at the bottom of your camera, that is actually what you call a 1/4 inch slot, or the screw that gets in there is what you call the 1/4 inch thread. Okay, so I don't know why it's called a thread, but yeah, that one. And you should be looking for like, you need to find a way to mount your microphone. That is the screw hole you need to be looking for if you actually need to find you need to mount your microphone. Pole hapo nimejiconfuse kiasi. But yeah, Mix Pre ndo naonaga ikitumika Hollywood a lot. And another thing is, when you're using recorders, don't guess, possibly buy a mic, buy some form of headphones. Headphones really help. That's why, I don't know, it's bundled up together. Now these Sonys, but they are not even expensive. I was even surprised as to how cheap they are for. But normally the people recording sound wana nini, and this app ina hang. I think I might have to switch browsers. This browser is actually quite ina hang sana. It's ina hang sana in Bambi. It's causing a lot of hanging. Kiasi. But basically, yes, these are the headphones normally zenye zikuwa plugged in kwa hizo nini. Hiyo recorder iko na port, usijali, iko na port ya kuvalia headphones, so that you as the guy recording the audio can actually see, can actually hear. Kwanza unaona that Zoom H1 N. That thing is actually good at recording ambient sounds. So zile sounds unasikiaga za rive, sijui za wapi, it's actually a good microphone. So if you're one of those guys who is into recording some ambient noises, or you live in a place where it's peaceful, there's nature around, and maybe you want to capture that sound of nature, your recorder though the best for you, okay? And it's also good as a like wireless, not wireless, it's also a good way to like mount a lavalier system. So ukieka lavalier or lapel mic, venye watu wengine uziita, ukieka lapel mic hapa kwa tisho, uranio cable kwa hiyo recorder kwa mfuko, you see, unaweza simama hata mbali venye unataka na utasikia audio yako ikiwa fiti, okay? So si ati lapel mics because I said they sound boxy ati ni mbaya. They're actually very good if you're quite at a distance. So invest in some of those stuff. Now nimeongea so much about the equipment, okay? So what if, tuseme tu what if hauna sasa pesa ya kufanya hii maneno yote, uko na webcam mic kama uko na hiyo mic ya headphone. Now the next step is to actually know how to edit sound. If you do not know how to edit sound, your sound is going to suffer a lot, okay? And the main thing about editing sound is familiarize yourself with the equalizer. Just know how to use an equalizer, okay? So normally what you use to edit sound is you use a DAW, okay? A DAW is what is a digital audio workstation, okay? The most professional ones that you're going to be found used in Hollywood is Pro Tools. Pro Tools ndo inatumikaga sana sana kwa film sets. Nimeiona a lot. In fact, I think all sound editors in Hollywood wanatumiaga Pro Tools. But yeah, my stream. Yo na lags. Hii app ya camera ni kama iko-operate leo. Inahangisha stream kiasi. Acha nifungue tena. Sparkle cam. Lists. Tufungue kitu kiasi. Hope itaacha kuhang. Okay. So kuna Bitwig, Studio Ableton ndo nimesikia, Audacity. This one is actually free. Audacity is free. Ableton is not free. Pro Tools is actually definitely not free. Logic Pro hii ni ya Apple pekee. FL Studio, I don't know, kama ni music producer huko nje, ndo unajua. Mimi maneno ya FL Studio mimi sijui. But I know it's a software used to make beats. My god, my stream leo ina hang. Sijui nini inaendelea. So naona kanda turn off webcam kiasi, and I think ninafanya stream yangu ihang. I don't know what's up with it. It's acting up today. But just familiarize yourself with one of these, okay? And I don't know why Adobe Audition isn't on this list, but I'd prefer using Adobe Audition over Audacity all day. But Adobe Audition is not free, so yeah, that's a bummer. But yes, use an equalizer. The reason that's why mimi nasema you need to know how to use an equalizer is because equalizers are all the same across all softwares. They don't have ni venye tu some softwares are more better at fine tuning than others. So mimi ndafungua Adobe Audition. That's the one that I use. It comes with Premiere Pro. You can actually send audio from Premiere Pro. And tutafanyaje? Let's load in the video I had played earlier. The two video examples I had played, one with the mic, one without the mic. Let's go to Audition to load in. I'm sure majority of the people on Windows wanatumiaga Premiere Pro. Don't worry, ndafungua Premiere Pro. No sure. I think I should even start with Premiere Pro ndio wasiseme hapa jamaa unatumia software sijui gani hizi hatuna access. But I'm sure Premiere Pro is common. Now I don't know about the other sijui hizi zingine free if they actually have audio editing options. But like I said, if you want to step up your game, it doesn't like me, I'm not an advocate for piracy, but huku ni Africa, we can't afford these licenses. So if need be, find someone who can pirate the software for you. Could download easy Adobe stuff, okay? Because it helps to actually just know how to edit audio. Because no matter how good this microphone might sound, there's still some things about the recording or the actual sound that you need to fix in post-production. So post-production means anything that is beyond recording. Msha record, mshafanya kila kitu, sasa ni maneno ya computer. So anything that is actually on the computer is now post-production. So let me reset hii workspace ya editing. Chatu tuende kwa editing, ni reset. Nimefungua Premiere Pro. Now I used to use Premiere Pro a lot. Nowadays nimeacha kuitumia as much, but I actually even have a good example of an audio we can use. This nilikuwa nimerecord. Oh my god. Let's use this one. What is this? I don't even know what the fuck that is. So allow me nizime tu webcam kiasi tu, because nashuku inafanya software hang. And this is the reasons as to why hata niliacha kutumia Premiere Pro. It's so laggy. It doesn't like cooperating. Nimezima webcam kiasi, but I'm going to turn it on. So just allow me.
When you're ready, action.
So let's cut out mimic some action. Let's just cut out to edit part, okay? So like as I was saying, sasa juu tuko kwa initoaje, sasa tuko kwa Premiere Pro, you're in your editor of choice, and now you want to actually edit. Tuseme umesha edit, ukafanya editing yako mambo nini, sasa you want to edit the audio. So make sure that you're first of all on the workspace here audio, so that you can get access to these panels, because this is the mixing page. Mixing is just checky. Music staki ikuwe na volume mingi, so reduce music at a certain point, okay? Or reduce music ikuwe a certain volume, or maybe kuna audio say it's too high kuliko ya mtu mwingine, una reduce ama una increase. So that is what is mixing. So si ati ni kitu complicated, okay? But there is actually audio effects that you can search for. Just look for, come to the effects panel on Premiere Pro or your editor of choice. And I don't know if your editors have this, but just look for an equalizer kwanza. Tafuta EQ. So me I search because I've actually never used this stuff. The parametric equalizer. These ones are the best. So I'm just going to drop an EQ up on ndani. And where is effects? But then where do you actually edit this? Okay, see, I think click the wrong panel, so it's trying to switch. Okay, see. Where do you actually edit the parametric? So you come to effect controls and you're going to say edit, okay? Now when you open the EQ, itakufungulia kitu kama hii. And I'm sure you're like, oh my god, this thing looks intimidating, but it's actually not. Now basically an EQ shows you the frequencies of your audio. Jua that on this end of an equalizer is the low end. So vitu zenye ziko na a lot of low end. So bassy stuff, okay? So engine roars, nduthi, wind, okay, wind. Hizo vitu zote ziko hapa mwisho, okay? High end stuff ni vitu kaa whistles, some just annoying teeny sounds zinakuaga hapa, okay? So the first thing that I'll first do is nisikize hiyo audio, ni try to listen and hear whether there's an actual problem.
Bored. Soon kuna
Mbaja kwa
plan lini kuniambia umekuwa ukicheat?
Kucheat tena?
Sahi unaweza ruka story. I noticed that something was up when you stopped making love to me like you used to.
Okay. In case you're wondering, that's a short film I'm working on, so that's why I'm only playing that part only. So it's any spoiler. But the first thing that I've noticed is her voice has a lot of and there's a lot of hissing. So like I said, a lot of the high pitch stuff is usually ukumusho, right? So I'm just going to turn this notch down, okay? And try to make it equal steep, because equal somewhat steep hivi. See, this is why I don't like the parametric equalizer. Yeah, Premiere Pro. Notch it. Haya hivyo.
Bored.
About to yashe. Ngoja.
Soon kuna plan.
My god, wacha kuhang. Oh, okay. This is why I fucking don't use Premiere Pro.
Bored. So ulikuwa na plan lini kuniambia umekuwa ukicheat?
Kucheat tena?
Sahi unaweza ruka story. I noticed that something was up
So I don't know if you can tell the difference, but let me turn off.
when you stopped making love to me like
Do you hear the
used to.
difference? Because I can actually hear it. Now this is why you actually need headphones. Okay. But then, if you are editing, unafanya nini na speak? Never edit with the speaker za laptop. That thing, no, I do not recommend. It's an actual no. Don't edit with your speaker. Heri utumie earphones. Please just invest in a pair of earphones. Hata za 150 ni sawa. Because speaker za laptop hazita kupea all the frequencies you need to hear. So if possible, please find some headphones, okay? And I'm going to talk about like editing, so like studio monitors and all that. But don't use speaker laptop or just speaker. To me, an actual headphone, okay? So I don't know if you can hear the difference, but and Premiere Pro, I don't know why it's very inakuwaga laggy na footage raw ya camera.
Bored.
So that is
So ulikuwa na plan lini kuniambia umekuwa ukicheat?
Kucheat tena?
Sahi unaweza ruka story.
Do you hear that all of a sudden most of the hissing ime disappear bila hata kutumia denoiser? Hizi ma denoiser zinakuaga sijui hiyo inaitagwa denoiser. Bila hata kutumia denoiser, I've cut off a lot of
I
Mazi Premiere Pro.
noticed that something was up
Bila hata kutumia denoiser, the hissing is gone. Nimezima EQ kiasi. Sikiza.
when you stopped making love to me like you used
Do you hear that hiss is actually getting inatolewa na hiyo kunoch tu,
to.
lakini haitoki yote.
Sahi unaweza
Okay, nimeitoa, but also na feel that sauti yake iko na a lot of mob. Okay, so I just think nda notch ikitu chini kiasi.
What?
We kijana unafanya nini kwa stream we?
Acoustic.
Wewe kijana Slati, unajua niko na tutorial wewe nafanya, umenishtua basi. Okay, so as I was saying, let me try and notch this place down.
ruka story.
Do you hear that all of a sudden audio yake imeanza kukua a little bit clear? So
I noticed that something was up when you stopped
nimetoa hizo mob. Wacha nizime usikie.
making love to me like you used.
Kucheat tena?
Sahi unaweza ruka story. I noticed that
So wacha tuwashe tena. Sikize hiyo part.
Sahi unaweza ruka story. I noticed that something was up when you stopped making love to me like you used.
And you see, just like that, umesha fix a majority of the problems of. Na sisemi that this is a necessary step, but if you want your audience to be hooked na wasikize that your audio for a long periods of time, then it makes sense for you to at least try and remove the annoying stuff. Now, like I had said, huku mwisho, it's more of the low frequencies. So, hapa kenye unafanya, just again, notch it down, okay? Na nimeona ni kama kuna venye kitu lazima ucheze nayo. It's not very good at, I think unavyokliki kuisharpen ama yep, I think unavyokliki kuisharpen. I need it because I need it to be actually sharp. Okay, so what you need to know is below 10,000 hertz, your ears cannot actually hear that clearly. So unaweza sikia, yes, but it's mostly the basic stuff, vitu zenye ni annoying for your ears to hear. So try and notch out most of the low end stuff. So vitu kaa nduthi hapa ndo zitatoka. Kama una problem ya tu sauti tu nduthi kwa background, hapa ndo zitatoka.
Ulikuwa na plan lini kuniambia umekuwa ukicheat?
Kucheat tena?
Sahi unaweza ruka
But as you can hear that nime cut off a lot of the low end, so try kurudisha.
story. I noticed
Now I hear that her voice is boxy and you can actually see there's an over presence at this part. So obviously it just makes sense to notch that place down.
that something was
And I'm sure you can actually hear the
up
difference.
when you stopped making love to me like you used to.
So if you start getting that boxiness, unatoa a little bit of the midland, and this interpolation is not very good, eh? Nataka ikuwe smooth, so turn down hizo numbers. Sitaki ikuwe hivyo sharp. I want it to be actually flat. So let's bring it back.
Bored. So kuna plan lini kuniambia umekuwa ukicheat?
Kucheat tena.
Sahi unaweza ruka story.
Nafunza watu kumbuka
I
tu.
noticed that
Hata
something
wiki
was
tumekuja.
up when you stopped making love to me like
Unasema nini Slati?
Ujao show?
Hey, mimi niko show mzee saa hizi. Usikini tutorial mimi na naongea.
you used to. Bored.
So right now I feel that the audio is way better.
Bored. So kuna plan lini
Okay, now I prefer it 1,000 times as to how it was before. So wacha tusikize before. This is before me adding hizo stuff. Time shenzi type way.
Bored.
Premiere Pro please.
Bored.
So this is without the
So kuna plan lini kuniambia umekuwa ukicheat?
Kucheat tena.
Sahi unaweza ruka story. I noticed
now this is with the EQ.
bored. Bored. So kuna plan lini kuniambia
As you can hear, ukishaeka EQ already sound better, but obviously volume iko low kiasi, but obviously just
umekuwa ukicheat?
increase to your volume
Kucheat tena.
Sahi unaweza ruka
up to a point yenye itarudi back to normal. As you can see, EQ, you can do a lot of the things in the EQ without having to go in digging for denoiser, because eco si ati haiko. Okay, see ati haiko, and it also has its uses, but let me just do what, let me just use it. Tufanya aje, let's turn off the parametric equalizer to tuende tuweke denoiser, right? Tuseme reduce noise. Now the problem in ya kutumia denoiser kwa Premiere Pro is that it doesn't actually show you the interface, so that's why I don't even like using it. As you can see, at a timeline imekuwa red. Actually that's not the denoiser. Jesus Christ. Sorry for that. Sorry. I'm sure. Poleni kiasi. So I think nimeweka the wrong denoiser. Nimeweka denoiser ku denoise footage actually. I'm supposed to be using here audio. Is it going to you're adding an obsolete effect? Sema tu yes. Oh. Okay. Let's delete this one because I don't need to use this one. Poleni. And say audio. Oh, is my stream lagging? Nini inaendelea hapa? Ni kitu ina rotate tu. But ndio hiyo. You can just say heavy noise reduction. Kwanza to try na heavy tusikie.
bored.
Render selection because Premiere Pro cannot simply.
Bored. So kuna plan lini kuniambia
In fact, let me just cut off the video because I think video ndio inafanya yangu.
bored. So kuna plan lini kuniambia umekuwa ukicheat?
Kucheat tena.
Sahi unaweza
As you can hear, inafanya kazi. It's actually doing the job very well. But the problem now is the denoiser. What was you over rely? Now the reason as why it's doing its work correctly hapa and as compared to in some certain scenarios is because your audio ilikuwa imerekodiwa na microphone ikiwa at the correct position. So the denoiser is not struggling to distinguish the background noise and the actual voice, okay? So but I'm sure you can hear that her voice is tinny. Kuna hiyo like voice yake ni kama some words are being cut off. So just listen closely.
bored.
Let's turn off the effect.
So kuna plan lini kuniambia umekuwa ukicheat?
As you can hear, yes, inatoa a lot of the noise and the hiss, but now let's turn on the effect.
Kucheat tena.
Sahi unaweza ruka story. I noticed that something was up when you stopped.
And actually in this case, I'm quite impressed as to how good it's actually removing the noise. But there's a certain quality to the voice that it may disappear. So
Bored.
sahi nimeweka light noise reduction. and you can actually just say output noise only ndo usikie what the denoise is actually removing. So nimesema output noise only. So hiyo ndo kelele yenye denoiser inatoa, but sasa unasikia that it's actually removing some aspects of our voice. Kwanza hata tukieka heavy noise, you can hear that it's actually clipping out a lot of the voice elements.
So kuna plan lini kuniambia?
But I'm actually surprised as to how good that turned out. Sikuwa nadhania itakuwa that good, but again, hii audio ilikuwa recorded intentionally correctly, okay? So mic ilikuwa at the right place. Only that the only problem with that audio is the preamps, is that hissing, okay? But it doesn't, if you're actually in an indoor environment, yeah, you can use it. Nimeona that it's not actually that bad, but if you're outdoor, let's wacha tu tufanyaje, let's see. Kuna hizi clips hapa, kuna hizi clips kwa wapi? Premiere Pro, pole. Kuna hii clip nimerecord nikiwa nje yenye nilikuwa na record with and without. In fact, these are the very good examples. What is this saying? See, there's audio coming through. Okay, let's nasikia the camera imezima kaza na bila ikiwa off, but no, let's get rid of this. Let's put this.
It's Nurmlock guys, and welcome back to yet another video.
Kwanza unasikia hiyo iko na wind kaa yote. Unasikia iko na wind kaa yote. Unaweza tumia EQ, but kwanza tutatumia EQ baadaye. Ngoja acha tutumie hiyo noise kiasi. Tuende edit. Let's listen to actually what it's doing, and I'm going to say heavy noise reduction.
It's Nurmlock guys, and welcome back to yet another video.
And this is the problem that I usually hear with a lot of these YouTube videos. Naonaga huku wanaekaga and then wanaacha.
Now obviously
You can also hear voice yangu ina sound so weird.
as you can see,
It's actually doing a good job at trying to eliminate the background, but yeah,
I am outside. This is
you can try messing around with these
because I am
presets.
currently trying to test out the onboard microphone, which
But bado you can hear the wind. So wind, again, like I said, wind is a low frequency. Wacha tuitoe tu hata nisiende mbali. Wind is a low frequency. Just wacha tutafute hiyo parametric EQ, parametric equalizer. Again, just find an equalizer in whatever software you use. And I'll show ya DaVinci Resolve, because DaVinci Resolve is actually free. So just edit wind.
I used to use a lot back in the days before I bought a microphone. So you can hear it's decent. It's good, it's not that bad, but I'm sure we can make the audio sound a little bit better using the
Do
microphone.
you hear that? Actually nimengoa tu wind hivyo that instantly without having to do so much of a hassle. And that's because you need to know how to use an EQ. Kama ujui maneno ya EQ utastruggle sana kuedit sound yako kiasi. Let me notch that back.
It's Nurmlock guys, and welcome back to yet another video. Now obviously, as you can see, I am out.
But you can hear that the wind is actually going away. But this is basically the steps that you need to do. Okay, but for me, what I usually do is in Premiere Pro, if you have Premiere Pro and Adobe Audition, you just right click on the audio and say edit clip in Audition, okay? Now you don't have to do that for every single clip. If you have an actual edit umemaliza, let's say where is this? Let's drag in a couple of clips, right? To drag in clip ingine. Oh, let's just use that one. Kunaja complicate maisha hapa. Let's just make a sample edit, a quick one. Tuseme that you've already edited your videos, ndio, na you don't want this edit to disappear, na zote ziko na different audios, okay? What you actually need to do is there's a way you can send this edit over to Adobe Audition. You just need to unaishika zote, just highlight them and edit in Audition. Just say sequence, and itakuja kwa Audition as a timeline. So just say you can create one example, and as you can see in Audition, it's going to open a multi-track session now. Nilikuwa nimezima video, so that is why you can't see anything. But tunaona imerudi, it's synced.
It's Nurmlock guys, and welcome back to yet another video.
But
now obviously,
so you see, your edit imekuja without you without you having to mess around with the edit. Okay, and normally you can edit easy stuff in Audition. You just need to export it and delete easy audio and replace it with the new master audio. But now that we are in Audition, let me show you. Is this clip?
It's nurmlock guys, and welcome back to yet another video. Now obviously this is the second test. This is with the mic.
Now one way you can get rid of wind in Audition, this, don't worry if you don't have this is just a spectral view. Inakushow to the spectrometer tasijui, but you can show it na window view, unaweza itoa ama uinini ama disable. So view hapo. Wind is actually, like I said, the lower frequencies need the windy stuff, bassy stuff, but nime highlight to scare what is actually there. But do you actually hear? You can hear that it's kind of picking my voice, but right size is kick pick voice. So I would recommend doing that. At unafinyu una delete
4 feet away from me, so it should sound pretty good. Not and I don't even know how these people.
So obviously my audio is clipping. Poleni.
People shoot vlogs because.
But that's another way you can get rid of wind. It's basically doing the same thing an EQ is doing. Una cut off the lower frequencies. But that's not the correct method because you're actually deleting stuff. So that's a destructive method. So the method that I use is I don't use the parametric equalizer, and this is why now you need to know some plugins. You need to actually have some plugins. They are called VSTs, Virtual Studio Technology. Okay, so like in OBS you can actually load in a VST, which I discovered that the other day. You can load in an equalizer to make your voice sound better. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the equalizer that Fab Filter provides. This Fab Filter, I like it because it's more intuitive. So like I said, all EQs work the same, low frequencies, high frequencies. So let's start by listening first of all to the audio without the EQ.
4 feet away from me, so it should sound pretty good.
And this is the audio that has a microphone, so that's why it sounds clean.
Good, not
But let's
I don't even know how these people shoot vlogs because I am already tired holding this camera like this. But tell me how the audio sounds like. You're getting all kinds of sounds outside, ambience, wind. So yeah. It's nurmlock guys, and welcome back to yet another video. Now obviously this is the second test. This is with the microphone on.
But you see, unaweza go overboard uharibu audio, so you actually nini lazima ukue actually very careful when dealing with an EQ.
On. This is with the microphone on. Now currently
you can cut off the higher frequencies if you have access to this plugin na ujui kuitumia as much. Just kuja useme dialogue. Kuna option tu ya vocal.
I am holding my camera at arm's length. I think
as you can hear, inaweza kufanyia some template stuff, of which the first thing that I usually do instead of cleaning it out manually, I just come and do a low cut. First of all, getting rid of the lower frequencies, right?
This is about
this basically, if you have access to this plugin, E in a smoothen, right? E in a smoothen, E in your frequency, what range, na E in your volume. And which I can see the volume is locked. So
roughly 4 feet away from me, so it should sound pretty good.
So
not
the windy stuff can be cut off by tuende kwa hii audio ingine yenye ilikuwa ya onboard mic.
It's nurmlock guys, and welcome back.
So this one is one that is suffering from a lot of
video
the
now
windy
obviously
stuff. So
as you can see,
let's just go to VST, equalizer, Fab Filter, Pro Q3. Okay.
it's nurmlock guys, and welcome back to yet
I can actually hear,
video
I can
now.
still hear the
Obviously,
wind.
as you can see, I am outside. This is because I am currently trying to test out the onboard microphone, which I used to use a lot back in the days before I bought a microphone. So you can hear it's decent.
It's getting rid of some of the wind, but necessarily it's not really doing much. So this is why nasema si ati juu uko na mic record badly manze. So when you're actually recording this stuff, be consciously aware of what you're doing, because you can see in this case
It's good.
Hiyo wind inakataa kutoka kabisa, and I'm really trying to get rid of it.
It's not that bad, but I'm sure we can make the audio sound.
No, I have to actually go quite in and get rid and ruin my voice so that I can actually get that wind. So in this case is where now naweza sasa sema juu hiyo wind inakataa kutoka, ikam tu hapo we select hivyo kutumia hii select tool, we delete, right? So let me go back to the audio that was showed on a microphone because ingine ni bambi.
It's nurmlock guys, and welcome back to yet another video. Now obviously this is the second test. This is with the microphone all.
So as obviously hii mic yangu but then nimesikia it has a lot of that boxiness. Like I said, if you want to get rid of the boxiness, siko nimeapply these effects by this. So let's first of all start by
It's nurmlock guys, and welcome back to yet another video. Now obviously this is the second test.
so cut off the lower frequencies first, and I wouldn't recommend using your method. I'll just go to the effects rack, nizi stack up ndio naweza zitoa nikitaka. So because hiyo ni distractive na I'm actually applying hiyo effect permanently. So
This is with the microphone all on. This is with.
So first step, okay, as you can see effects are stacking up, so you can just get rid of, or you can turn off na usikize ni gani na affect majority of the audio sana. So the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do a high cut
With the microphone on. Now currently I am holding my camera at arm's length. I think this is about roughly 4 feet away from me, so it should sound
So you can hear
pretty.
nimetoa majority of that high-end stuff. Now that I've done that, the next thing to do is to notch out. I can hear that my voice is quite boxy on this mic, so tazama tu clean.
Good, not and I don't even know how these people shoot vlogs because I am
So
already tired holding this camera like this. But tell me how the audio sounds like. You're getting all kinds of sounds outside, ambience, wind. So yeah, it's nurmlock guys, and welcome back to yet another video.
so as you can hear nimekuja tu nikaweka manual. As you can hear na get rid of a lot of that
And obviously this is
boxiness in my voice, and you can continuously do this na uendelee kustack up hizo effects. Like usikuwe na haraka ya kunini, don't be in a hurry to stack up or to just merge all of this stuff into one thing. Like ati unakuja hapo una notch and then unakuja juu unaanza increase. That is actually going to fuck up your audio. So just don't be in a rush. Just if you actually want to get good audio, just do it simple and clean. Wacha kutafuta, like wacha kukuwa na hiyo haraka.
the
So
second test.
another thing is I can hear that my voice has a lot of E frequency hapa, and it's not really pleasing to the ear. So what I'm going to do is, which you can remember, you can also do this with the Parametric Equalizer like I had shown earlier on the stream.
This
So can hear kuna hiyo mob. So I'm just going to listen. So that's
on.
that's something in my voice that I don't want. So as you can hear, your voice also has frequencies that are not pleasing to the ear.
This is with the microphone on. Now currently I am holding my camera at arm's length. I think this is about roughly 4 feet away from me, so it should sound pretty good.
And as you can hear, let me just turn off all the effects. This is without the effects, so let's listen.
It's nurmlock guys, and welcome back to yet another video. Now obviously this is the second test. This is with the microphone all.
That is without the effects, so let me turn on all the effects again, and this is with the effects.
It's nurmlock guys, and welcome back to yet another video. Now obviously this is
There's not so much of a big difference, and that's because, like I said, if you correctly record your audio in the first place, you're not going to have a problem. Now the problem that nimesikia sahi is my audio is let me click apply and apply all those effects. My audio has a problem of kuna some points I'm loud. As you can see, so unaona aka point niko extremely loud, right? And kuna areas zingine siko loud. So what the final step that I usually do is mufanya naitwaje normalize. You need to actually normalize your audio. Normalize meaning that the normalize will or a compressor. I think a compressor, that is what a compressor does. A compressor makes the loud parts quieter and the quiet parts louder, so such that if there's an area where niko volume yangu iko extremely low than others, ita try to bring you up. If there's an area I'm shouting too much, ita try to bring you down. So even the compressor you works. So compressor, denoisers na equalizer, hizo tatu ndo your best friend. Now the compressors are fab filter. Says kudanganya I'm very good with them because the one that is most common ni Pro C2. It's a compressor.
It's nurmlock guys, and
You can just turn on the threshold.
welcome back to yet another video now.
And I'm just going to say vocals because I'm just say Pro voiceover.
Obviously, this is the second test. This is with the microphone all.
So what the compressor is actually doing, unaona, do you see the kiasi naona stream lag behind kidogo. What the compressor is actually doing,
This is
as you can see, if there's an area that is high in a gongo inje, like in a cut
with the microphone
okay?
on.
If
Now
there's an
currently
area that
I
is
am
low, in a try to bump you up. So you can see that's a low area in Inuli.
holding my camera at arm's length. I
And
think
that
this
is,
is
let
about,
me
roughly 4 feet away from me, so it should sound pretty good. Not and I don't even know how these people shoot vlogs.
So nasikia hiyo point nilikuwa na shout after nizime compressor ilikuwa imeanza kuclip. Now how do you know, how do you know that your audio is clipping? Clipping meaning that volume yako inakuwa excess. How do you know your audio is clipping? Your audio should not go past -6, maximum -3. Ikianza kupita -3, of which that's how hata nimeset Streamlabs. Ikianza kupita -6 inaanziaga kuclip, like inakuwa na hiyo ni kama msiana shout kwa mic.
Because
Okay.
I am already tired holding this camera like this. But tell me how the audio sounds like. You're getting all kinds of sounds outside, ambience, wind.
So you can actually use just a compressor to make sure that your sounds
So
sound normal. But if you don't know how to use a compressor, just go to effects, kuja kwa amplitude and compression, use normalize. Now normally just set it to %, and use your late 90s radius. So 98.5 nini, muweka tu 98.5. And
now currently I am holding my camera at arm's length. I think
like I had said, what this normalize inafanya ni zina try kufanya that all the audio inakuwa level, okay? So yeah man, and hizo vitu zinawakivo. The good thing about like VSTs, so let me close Premiere Pro. I think I'm done with Premiere Pro. The good thing with VSTs is that they work on all software. So a good example ni kama Streamlabs. Tukiaka, because they load in as DLL files, so it's an actual window. So let's open. So currently on Streamlabs, as you can see, I've set a profile for my voice, okay? So my voice is actually being in a edit your real time as you listen to it, okay? That's the good thing about VSTs. VSTs you run kwa all software, so long as that software supports VSTs. So ukisha install hizi fab filter stuff or whatever VST utakuwa nayo, ukisha install uende hata ukienda kwa kuna hii inaitwa Bruce Free, sijui Bruce Free ya kudinoise. Acha tuitry tu tuseme let's add naona hata hii iko nazo, but acha tuseme VST, tuseme done. I'm going to look for ndo hii Bruce Free. Now what Bruce Free does is iwe ina denoise, it's a denoiser. Kidogo nataka kufungua interface yake. Imehangisha Streamlabs. Damn. Wallahi Streamlabs imehang. Sorry guys. Okay, so this is why you should be very careful na hizi vitu zinaweza kufanyia mambo, but Bruce Free ni ya kudenoise. I think it works way better compared to hii denoiser hii inakujaga by default. Now what denoisers do is mostly they work good if you tell them where the noise is. So like this case, so unaona hapa venye pako, if I was to select this area and then nikuja kwa effects, noise and reduction, niseme noise reduction, niseme capture noise print, sasa Adobe Audition imeshika hiyo noise. So what you do is now you highlight all the audio and then kwanza una hit play kusikiza what type of what amount of noise is being reduced.
it's nurmlock guys, and welcome back to yet another video. Now obviously this is the second test. This is with the microphone all,
and nasikia that it's not notching out a lot, but 10 mostly mutumia hiyo 20 because naonaga hiyo 20 kidu kazi poa, but let's highlight that noise again, capture noise print, and then let's hear.
It's Nurmlock guys and welcome back.
And already juu tulikuwa tushafanya hizi vitu mastaff, okay, unaweza hata output noise on Windows. Okay, already tusha ingia equalizer tukaifanya equalization hii kitu ina has much noise, but basically that's what you do. So when you're recording, what I would advise is before ukishafanya record, before uanze kuongea, nyamaza for like 2 minutes, microphone yako ipik kelele ya room, ndio ukiingia hapa unaweza specify the noise. So the higher, at least the bigger the range, the better the noise ita perform. Your bruise free inawakigi the same way. Ukikuja, it's a plugin, I don't know, you can find it on its website. Work the same way. If I was to just select that area again, niseme, and it's actually quite effective, niseme learn meaning that in a listen or in a capture your noise. So learn, because I think that's a very short area. Okay, I see. Let me highlight a bigger area and say learn. Okay, so I'm learn. Okay, so when I highlight,
it's Nurmlock guys and welcome back to yet another video. Now obviously this is the second test.
I don't know if
this
you see a
is with the microphone
but there's
on.
an actual difference.
On. This is with the microphone on. Now currently I am.
So Bruce Freeway inafanya kazi poa. It's a good audio plugin, I can recommend. There's even others that use AI. I'm saying squeezy kuna nini. There's a lot of plugins uko nje, but the most powerful ones that are even used by like the CIA is there's this company called, I don't know, RX, the company that makes RX Isotope. So the one that I use is from RX Isotope. Kuna hiyo yao inaitwa voice denoise. This thing works wonders. Nikisema tu adaptive, niseme dialogue, and iacha.
It's Nurmlock guys and welcome back to yet another video. Now
it tries on its own to determine penye kuna kelele na ina try to fix. Okay, so there's a lot of denoiser plugins. So the ones that I would recommend is your RX Isotope stuff, Fab filter stuff, na your Bruce Free. Also, you can use the inbuilt one in Adobe Audition, or the one, because the inbuilt one in Adobe Audition is the one you find in Premiere Pro. It's just that it's a stripped down version of the one in Adobe Audition. So those are the noise denoiser plugins that mimi naweza recommend in case maybe una record audio vibaya and nakona kashida na kitu imehang kabisa na imekataa kufungua. So sorry for that. Can I even switch the stream? I don't even think I can. Naweza fanya ni alt F4 lakini I can't cause damn thing imekwama hapo kwa kuopen interface. But hiyo ni Adobe Audition. So let me show you for the ones that you wanatumia Resolve, because nimeongea so much. Because also Resolve iko na equalizer yake, na nataka tu nifungue uone that it's the same thing. Usione kama ati mzee anatumia equalizer ya Premiere Pro ati sasa na mimi natumia Resolve na ya Resolve haikai the same. So I just want to show you that all equalizers work the same. So just hang on ifunguke. And it's possibly okay. I've turned off kina nini. Sorry, my music leo I play. It's because we're actually doing sound stuff. But in the meantime, as we wait, imetikia kurudi. Thank you, Jesus. What? It's actually still stuck. Okay, let's just open DaVinci Resolve. Ngoja ifunguke. As we wait. But unaweza maswali hapo kwa comment section. Kina Collins can ask in case you're not sure about something. Maybe unataka kuanzia gaming na hujui ni app gani nzuri ya kufanya sijui nini. You can just ask. I'm here. They wait for. Why is Resolve taking this long to open? That's unusual. Oh, another thing that maybe is common that I've seen a lot of YouTubers who don't know a lot about sound suffering from is stereo sound. Ushaona video then unasikia sauti inatoka from one ear. So that is a problem that you actually I don't know if there's a way to fix it in Premiere Pro. I think maybe you can fix it while exporting. And Resolve haitaki kufunguka. Jesus. Iya. Tuifanyia alt F4 kiasi. Naona I think naona kanda zima Streamlabs niashe tena, meaning nitakata stream for some few seconds. Resolve haiwaki by the way. I don't know why. But let's open. I'm going to end on that Premiere Pro, your story ya kufix nini audio. You mostly una render out as a stereo audio, but maybe you recorded the audio with only one channel on, meaning left, right, okay? So maybe the left channel was only on or your right channel was only on, and then because that way when you're exporting, you actually, if maybe that was the case, you actually need to say that the audio is mono. Mono meaning that itatoka from both ears. Ukisema stereo inamaanisha that there's an effect that can be on the left side then haitakuwa on the right side. And I'm sure umesikia hiyo ukisikiza mangoma, unasikia that hii drum inaenda hii side inaruka hii side ingine. That is actually stereo audio, so something you need to know. About the IMAX, like when you ufanya sauti hizi bounce, I don't know. These I think unahitaji, you actually need to sit down, like panel, there's these sound panels like the one you're seeing on this image of DaVinci Resolve. There's these sound panels that are used for that work. And if you worked as DaVinci Resolve open, this is a good time to talk about like studio monitors and headphones. Okay, now earphones don't have the full range. Like kuna earphones inaweza kuwa bass heavy, hazina hizo high frequencies. For me, I bought this one some time back and zimenisave for, but I still would recommend headphones from Sennheiser. Sennheiser ndio nasikiaga naonaga like they are the ones being recommended for people who want to get into editing. Okay, now not all Sennheisers, there's specific ones for editing, but generally headphones are good. Just buy a couple of headphones. Hata zile Sony nilikuwa nimeshow earlier on the stream before. These ones, even these ones are good. Use something like this to actually edit. Now the reason as to why you are recommended to use some studio monitors like this is because they actually are pushing air, okay? And you actually want to get the accurate sound replicate, like the accurate sound as to how your sound is coming, as to how like you recorded your sound. Because the problem with this consumer stuff is zinakuwaga na, they have a lot of modifications done to them so that they can actually sell you on the headphones. So you find that some earphones are bass heavy, some headphones are like it's got a lot of treble, okay? And that might be wrong because unaweza assume audio yako iko na bass, lakini in reality ni headphones zinakudanganya iko na bass but hazina bass. So that's why you actually need to invest in a couple of studio monitors. Now studio monitors are very expensive, but naweza sema that a starting point, because most of them like they are above 50k for one single one. These ones from a company called, I don't know what the company that makes them, but there's these ones nimeona zikiwa recommended a lot. These PreSonus Aries near field studio monitors. Actually invest in buying something like this, 2 of these, okay? They come as a bundle for 10,000. 2 of these things actually push air and they actually give you an accurate representation. Obviously the higher expensive ones ndio better, but they actually give you a representation as to what your sound is actually sounding like, okay? Haziko like made kuflata masikio yako ati usikie ziko na bass, okay? So when you're actually listening to your audio through these speakers, you're actually listening to the accurate representation of what your audio sounds like, such that sasa juu unajua ukisikiza maybe ukisikiza from these speakers usikie that maybe your audio doesn't have a lot of bass, unaongeza. Ukisikia maybe there are a lot of treble, una reduce, okay? So this is why it's recommended to buy studio monitors, because they actually are an accurate representation of what your sound sounds like. And the reason that's why I'm saying pushing air is because you actually need to feel. Mse mwingine akiona video yako, how are they going to feel about the audio? Are they going to feel it being powerful? Because kitu ka ASMR, man, you obviously there's something you're trying to achieve with an ASMR, okay? So is your ASMR bass heavy? Because for me, like, I listen to these sleeping sounds and most of them are bass heavy because lower frequencies, they tend to make you sleep quicker. So if unasikiza na headphones, itakuwa so hard to determine whether you are putting or outputting the correct amount of bass, okay? So yeah, man, you actually need to invest in a couple of these, but if you don't have the money, like I said, please, headphones, maze, headphones, at least buy some headphones, okay? And venye naona Streamlabs imehang kabisa, nimefanya Resolve ikatae kufunguka, so just give me some few seconds. I'm not going to take a minute. Nizime niashe tena, so the stream might inaweza katika kidogo, but give me some few seconds to fix that, then I'll be back. Bado kafa Slati? Oh, niko naona kanet, niko nasikia kanet yangu imepotea. What? Okay, Slati. Okay, we are back. Sorry for that. Yes. We are back. Sorry for that. Mashida technicalities. But like as I was saying, okay, hii audio ngoja, hii video iko na denoiser, so tutazima kiasi. And DaVinci Resolve is very GPU intensive, so it might affect the stream. Let's turn off the audio, the video. So as you can see, imejiandika master, meaning that nilikuwa already nishabeleka audio audition. So as you can okay. Yes, you can see that the equalizer in Resolve is actually straightforward. I don't know hiyo hapo. Here it is, clip equalizer. It's actually there. You see, that's how important equalizers are. Yeah. DaVinci Resolve tunatumiaga. I actually use it a lot nowadays. Yes, but nimefanya Premiere Pro na Resolve ndio for the sake of everyone, because I know a majority of the people bado hawaja switch from nini. But Resolve is free na hizi zote ziko, si ati because Resolve is free ati all of these plugins are not there. But as you can see, the equalizer is already there on the, if you click on the audio, inakuleta effects audio, it's already there because that's how important an equalizer is. So if you click on clip equalizer, inakuletea. And as I talked about earlier, lower frequencies, higher frequencies, straightforward. You can increase upper, una increase bass. Okay, cut off. In fact, this one is more intuitive, so it's actually very good. Acha tufanyaje? Let's get rid of this timeline. Tuweke hii audio yetu. Tuweke hii yetu kidogo. Assalamu guys, and welcome back to yet another video. Now obviously, as you can see, I am outside. Okay, this is the first one without a mic. Let's use this second one. It's Namloke guys, and welcome back to you can hear the difference is significant. So wacheni kutumia onboard mics nyinyi wenye mna shoot for vlogs. Yet another video. Now obviously this is the second. So let's first use the equalizer in the nini, tushike, hatuna haja na nini. Ukitaka kushika audio pekee una alt click inashika audio. Yes, let's put on the equalizer. Contest, this is with the, and I can hear a strange sharp sound that is not even pleasant. The microphone all. So let's tulete ndani. On. This is with the microphone. So be careful. Unasikia already that I'm cutting off a lot of my bass. And also this is a good way to add bass to sauti ya msee. Ukisikia msee ana bass enough, una crank up your shit. Nakuwa na bass mingi. But I don't know if on. Now currently I am holding my camera. Let's cut off the higher frequencies. Camera at arm's length. I think this is about roughly 4 feet away from me, so it should sound pretty good. Not
And I don't even know how these people should.
Obviously unasikia that there's a very significant difference to how the audio sounds like. Tabu kidogo, I need to hear if the stream is actually getting that. There's a very significant difference to how the... Okay, let's go back kidogo. So for that. Okay, so normally don't edit your audio hapa hivi. Now the DAW that comes bundled with the Resolve ni digital audio workspace. Case uko early on the stream when I explained that tutorial effect is Fairlight. So itakuleta kwa window. As you can see, you have a mixer. Like I said, kazi ya mixer tu ni kubalance volumes
Vlogs because
in this case maybe if kama uko na audio ya music hapo chini.
I am already tired.
Now clearly you see I'm clipping, so it makes sense to reduce the volume. Irudishe
Holding this camera like this. But tell me how the audio sounds like.
in a pic
Getting
hapo,
all kinds of
set
sounds
inakuwa excess.
outside, ambience, wind. So
And it works the same way as Adobe Audition where you stack up the effects. So as you can see, equalizer already equal. Na ukidouble click inakufungulia sasa the full interface. Kuna, I don't know what Earthfire, Air Ice does. I don't know what the fuck those are, but I just know that this is the lower frequencies, is the higher frequencies. So if I need to notch out something, I just notch out like that.
oh yeah.
And looping should be on. Kiasi.
On now currently I am holding my camera at arm's length. I think this is about roughly 4 feet away from me, so it should sound pretty good. Not and I don't even know how these people shoot vlogs because I am already tired holding this camera like this.
So as you can hear that I'm already fixing a lot of the issues with that sound only by using an EQ. Hata hauhitaji kutumia those expensive denoisers, just an EQ. That's why I said in sound the EQ is everything. Ukishajua kutumia EQ, you're good.
But tell me how the audio sounds like. You're getting all kinds of sounds outside, ambience, wind.
Unasikia that if I notch this up and I increase the bass in my voice.
So yeah, it's nurmlock guys, and welcome back to yet another video. Now obviously this is the second test. This is with the microphone on. This is with the microphone on. Now currently
Unaangalia ni what I think hapa ndai flatten kiasi hivyo ndaifanya. But that's too sharp. That's actually too sharp. But let's see. Middle. That's a very sharp gradient. Okay. This is why napenda fab filter cause okay, unaweza flatten. Kwa hiyo ni option ya flatten ilikuwa natafuta, but
I am holding my camera at arm's length. I think this
you possibly want to add another band hapa cause where hii kitu inafanya a lot of damage, so be careful. Dogo tu. And tuiweke iko hiyo, tuiflatten. Remember unaiflatten ndio isi sound weird. Okay, usipoiflatten it might sound terrible.
This is about roughly 4 feet away from me, so it should sound pretty.
Nah, I can hear that the bass is a little bit too much on my voice, but we can also flatten it. Okay, you're flattening it to make sure that the sound is coming in as natural.
Good,
as
not
possible. But that is with the EQ. Let's turn off the EQ.
And I don't even know how these people shoot vlogs because I am already tired holding this camera like this. But tell me how they with the microphone.
Start again.
It's nurmlock guys, and welcome back to yet another video. Now obviously this is the second test. This is with the microphone
So that is without the equalizer. Let's go back to the beginning and try that again. This is with the equalization on.
It's nurmlock guys, and welcome back to yet another video. Now obviously this is the second test. This is with the microphone on. This is with the microphone on. Now currently I am holding my camera at arm's length. I think this is about roughly 4 feet away from me, so it should sound.
So you can hear that it sounds way better hata bila kutumia hiyo fab filter, cause I'm sure not a lot, si kila mtu akona fab filter and it's a very hard plugin to acquire.
Pretty good, not
and I don't even unasikia that it's very very like balanced sound in a sound vizuri, and that is what you want your audience to feel when they're watching their videos, like your videos. You want your audience to feel comfortable, they can listen to you for a long time, which is also the same thing like in what I've done in nini ni procu chatu open that is what I've just done in these Streamlabs. Unaona fab filter ina run real time, so nikitaka tu increase the bass in my voice right now, I'm sure unasikia a lot of bass, but penda ikiwa hapo hivyo, that is why it's balanced. For me, this is the profile for my voice, okay? This is not a profile ati ita work for everyone, so si atuone ati mimi naifanya ati alafu tena wewe unaenda kufanya yako hivyo. Ni usikie sauti yako, ni wapi sauti yako, where is your voice annoying. So a good thing is to actually look at your waveform. So for me, I can see that a lot of the annoying sounds zinatoka from this range na mahali hapa hivi, so that's why unaona na try and notch it as like fine tune ikue as clean as possible, ndio nyi wenyewe mkiwa hapo hivyo nje mnasikia you have like a good listening experience. So yeah man, so yeah, as you can see, that's a VST and it's actually working real time right now in Streamlabs. So tabota nijisikia kwanza kiasi ama naweza kuwa nimemezi hiyo audio. As you can see, that's a VST and it's yep, and it's working. And also another other VST that is running in the background ni kudenoise. So the denoiser on this software, the RX denoise is running right now because I noticed that you get a lot of noise nikishoot hapa hivi, so yep, I nearly activate ndo try to cut off as much of the noise as possible. So all those things are working in real time. That's the good thing about VSTs. They don't they're like their own software running on their own. And how do you load effects or VSTs up? And it just effects, EQ. As you can see, there's a lot. Gee, I mean hata inanishow hizo options za nini the VSTs, but as you can see, it's a lot of I don't know if these are Fairlight effects. Sijatumia mingi za Fairlight, but like I said, compressors ndio za kujui sauti yangu kuna place na shout, especially like hapa unaona. And I don't even know how to get that loudness. So you can just use a compressor to fix that. So that's under dynamics, and let's do a multi-band compressor. Sijaitumia hii ya resolve, but I'm sure tunaweza pata tu presets hapa kutumiaga. Hakuna presets? What? Okay, there's no actual presets. I think you have to actually save them yourself. I don't even know how these people shoot vlogs because I am already tired holding. So band what? Hii ni conk excess hii. Camera like this. But tell me how the audio sounds like. Ini conk excess. You start danganya ati nishaitumia hiyo. I've never used that one. Me just use the fab filter one. But it's anything under dynamics. I think limiter maybe. Tuseme soft clipper. Maybe that can work well. Tuseme soft drive. You're getting all kinds of sounds outside, ambience, wind. So yeah. It's Namlokigans and welcome back to you. I think threshold, what threshold means is how loud is the audio. So anything above, that is anything above -1 dB, itanochiwa down. With the microphone on. This is with the microphone. I want to on. Now currently I am holding my camera at arm's length. I think this is about roughly 4 feet away from me, so it should sound pretty good. Not and I don't even know how these people. So your place na shout ni ngumu kiasi kutoa, but if unashindwa kutumia compressor, because like in this case me compressor inanilemea, you can actually create keyframes za kunotch down your part. So unafinya alt na click, una reduce your volume kidogo ndio inakuwa level na hizi parts zingine, so kiasi. So you don't have to use that compressor. Now obviously unaona kuna venye inasumbua kiasi, so I'm trying to move it, try kuifanya ikuwe level na hizi zingine. So and I don't even know how this, and obviously it's going to sound loud, so And I don't even know how these people should. You can see that sounds way better than just leaving it like that, and then anakuwa confused and you know the fuck. And I don't even know how these people shoot vlogs because, but that's because the mic was already moving. So, yep. So yes, is there anything else nimebakisha kwa hii maneno ya nini? I don't know, but I think I've talked about a majority of the stuff you need to know when using this stuff. I don't know. Kamera yangu ilizima kitambo. So, I don't know if itaitikia kuwaka sahi. But basically that's sound. If you plan to be a YouTuber and una plan kushooting content most of the time, these are the things that you actually need to know how to use. So, nirudishe webcam on. So if you have any questions hapo kwa comments unaweza uliza tu. But I'm sure I've talked about a lot of the stuff. Hata nasikia sauti yangu ime. My voice is already starting to crackle from how long I've been talking. But yeah man. So invest in a mic, shoot correctly. Mazee, wacha kushoot ati sijui ukidhania utafix kila kitu in post production. You've seen it's not that easy, but I've tried to simplify the process as much as possible. Okay. And yeah man, so okay, wacha niwache hii time niandikie questions if any of you have any questions. If any of you have any questions, this is the time to be sending them. What's my PC specs? Natumia tu Core i5. Core i5, 16GB RAM, GTX 970 na SSD. Hope I've answered your question, Daniel Mwambi. Why? Oh, sound. The thing about sound doesn't eat so much of your CPU. Sound is not CPU intensive, so or your computer. Sound ni sound. Okay, it doesn't have a lot of stuff going on. But yeah, because you can see e plugin in a run in real time bila issues. These plugins are these VSTs, as you can hear, they are running in real time without issues. So yep. Any other question? Nangoja tu swali. Anything. Software gani unaweza recommend? Just zote. A good a good channel I would recommend to watch if you want to be to understand sound generally. Si ati anagoigi in depth na tutorials that is a sound, but a good YouTube channel I would recommend is this one from this guy called Alex Nikaboka. He's actually on IMDb, so he's actually quite professional with what he talks about. So he doesn't talk about stuff that doesn't exist. Alex Nikaboka. Let's see. Maybe typing the correct thing. Yep. Alex Nikaboka. Please go to this guy. This is the guy who explained. In fact, this is the guy who made me discover this fab filter stuff, RX isotope, and wase wenye unafokum na nini na unaangalia. Do Macs have better sounds software than PCs? Generally, that's the sign. That's the consensus that is usually thrown around. Okay, the thing about Mac is, let me just go on and say that the thing about Mac is, Apple is very good at optimizing software for their platform. Okay, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's better. In fact, most of the times, Pro Tools is the one that is used in Hollywood a lot, right? And Pro Tools and Ableton. Okay, but Pro Tools is not only a Mac software; it's also a Windows software. The thing about Mac is Mac runs so smoothly without any hiccups. Mac is just as an OS for dummies. Wasi wenye hawapendi a lot of logical stuff za Windows, because Windows ikicrash lazima ni wewe uende ujitafutie a way to fix it, because hizo software mizi zimenicrashia, plugins zinakataa kuwork, and you see mse mwenye hako that knowledgeable about computers atakuwa na shida. So that's why a lot of people who are not good with computers use Macs. Okay, does it have an advantage? That's the only advantage. It's not that this nini sounds better. It's just that their softwares are more optimized. Okay, that's why even DJs use it. Okay, so but for me, Premiere Pro ilikuwa ina hang sana. and I'm not going to lie, it used to hang a crap ton until I realized it's actually not at my problem at my computer is slow. It's actually Premiere Pro yenye high harness because you've seen nimefungua Resolve and the timeline was good, haikunisumbua even the slightest bit. But when I was opening Premiere Pro, even the simplest dialogue ilikuwa tu ina hang. Okay, so Windows is good, Mac is good, Linux message maneno ya Linux. But yeah, tupa swali lingine. Any question, by the any question, regardless of hata kama si sound related, I'm still going to answer. Because in the next stream, I'm supposed to talk about like how to get good video sasa. So because I wanted to get sound out of the way. So just ask me any other stuff. So I don't think there's any other questions being thrown around. And personally, I'm going to end the stream there. So Daniel, Ategoda, Ategoda. Slat Ivanis, Collins, thanks for tuning in. And yes, man, I'm going to see you in the next stream. So for the next stream, like I've said, nitaongelea maneno ya videos. Yeah, oh my god, I am so tired. Nimeongea leo hadi nasikia sijui aje throat. But yeah, man, go check that Alex Nikaboka out and learn more about audio. Like what I've talked about today is just scratching the surface. So that will just help watu wenye wanna begin. But mmeona the importance of an equalizer. An equalizer is quite useful when it comes to audio editing. So, yep. Be sure to learn more about an equalizer, the frequencies and all that. And one thing to note is all microphones have biases. Some certain microphones pick better. Like kuna mics niliona zina flatter madem kuliko maboy. So this is one of those things that you actually have to learn while you're on the field. If you're on the field actually shooting, or when you're just doing it in general, because the more you do it, the more knowledgeable you become, or the more you get to understand the equipment you're working with. For me, I realized that I have a lot of preamp noise that is coming from this camera, so I possibly need to buy I actually need to buy a sound recorder to fix that issue. Okay, so lavalier mic, shotgun mics, invest in one of those mics. The onboard microphone on the camera is not as good. So yeah, and I hope you may clear out your misconception here. Mac has better sound softwares. No, the only sound software that is proprietary for Mac is Logic, yeah. So yes, but the tool should never be a handicap for you as an artist or a content creator. Ati una nini uko hapo ati unashindwa kufanya kitu ati cause sina Logic sina nini. No man, because the rule is always 100%, where 80% ni effort yako and the time and the experience you've taken to learn this stuff, and 20% is the tool. Okay, so it doesn't mean that you can't come up with good audio from your camera. I'm just saying, if you're smart enough, you know that you'd rather use a smartphone close to your mouth than using the onboard mic, and just find better ways to record your audio. Okay, and with that note, thank you guys for streaming. It's been a good show, and I didn't think I will actually pull it off, but yeah, man. So see y'all in the next video.